Good morning, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Just if you can, just write in the chat a hello, hi, just so I know you guys can hear me. I know that we're connected. Hope everybody's doing well on this fabulous Wednesday, beautiful day. The sun is shining. I won't sing. Thank you guys for letting me know. We're going to start in just a moment or two. I'm running a minute behind, so I'm running to the restroom. Give me 30 seconds, and then we will begin the meeting. So hang tight, guys. All right, guys, I am back, and I actually did sort of run, and thankfully I didn't fall because that did happen to me once. I'm going to open up the agenda. If you're on a computer, even if you're on a phone, I do want to refer you to the handout section of the webinar because there is a lot of good handouts to download to your phone. If you can't download it, no worries. We'll make sure you get all the handouts. It's some training information. There's a flyer for Read for the Record, which I know Lane will talk about towards the end of the meeting. Lane is in the house, as he said to me. And I'm going to also look for our ELC folks to unmute them. Okay, let's see. Oh, hey, Miss Viv. I came to your name. How funny. We're very close. So I'm looking for our folks. I'm going to look for Renee. I also want to shout out, I see Anna Roa and Carla from OEL, our VPK trainers. Hello, guys. Good morning. Thanks for being on. Let's see. I'm looking for my R's. And while I turn it over to Renee to do the welcome, once I find her, I will put up the agenda, which for some reason I'm now having a problem finding in my document. Let's see. Nope, wrong person. That's coming. Renee, you are unmuted, ready to go.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Allison. You can hear me, correct?
Yep, we hear you. Go for it.
Wonderful. Okay. First of all, welcome everyone who's on the call today. I wanted to first wish you all a happy and healthy new year. So we made it to 2021. I know 2020 was an interesting, rough, crazy year. So we made it. So again, happy and healthy new year. And I also wanted to thank you for all you do. You are in a thankless industry, so I do want to thank you today. And also thank you just for joining us for our first plan meeting of 2021. Something else I just wanted to acknowledge, we are looking at the format of this meeting in a COVID world, right? We switched to this format due to COVID. Obviously, we'd much prefer to be in person, but we still think this is the safest way to go right now with so many participants calling in. And we decided to use a webinar format because our first meeting or two there was a lot of background noise and a lot of technical difficulties related to having so many people on the call at one time. So we did a deep dive into what was the best platform at that time and decided to go with a webinar format. I understand it's not as warm and fuzzy and it's hard. You can't see us, we can't see you. And for some people that's good, but for us, we'd love to be able to see you guys and hear from you. So I want to make sure that we're also thinking about going forward. Is this the best format? Is there a way to still be productive while also having you guys on video and being able to talk while on the video? So we're playing around with that and seeing is there some way to do it better. We have a variety of different platforms that we can use. So we're playing with that. I know today, and Allison will talk more about this, we are going to try to unmute you if you have questions. So we will try to do that and see how that works. But you know, we're all kind of going through this together and we're learning as we go. And I wanted to make sure you knew that this platform was just what we thought was the most productive and helpful for you guys. That's our goal, is for this to be meaningful and for us to give you information. And it's certainly not so that we can't hear your voices or hear what you're saying. So I really wanted to point that out and acknowledge you that we are here, whether during the plan meeting or after the plan meeting. We do want to hear from you. We'd like to hear from you. It's important that we hear from you. That's how we can better advocate on your behalf. That's how we know we're not in your centers every day. So we try to be in touch with that, but hearing from you, whether it's your questions or what's going on, is so valuable, and we want to hear from you. So know that this format is more to be, you know, as productive as possible and help you guys as much as possible, and not for any other reason. So with that, I'm just going to dive into a few things that I wanted you to know. I know we're still in the middle of a pandemic and times are extremely rough for so many families, and especially for small businesses, including childcare owners and directors and educators in general. And we're very well aware that while there have been some much needed safety nets and funding in place for Broward childcare providers and for school readiness families, a lot of them are winding down, or are gone. So we are super mindful of the stress that puts on so many of you. And while I wish there was more relief, and I wish we had it right now to tell you about, I can tell you that Florida is slated to receive another $625 million in child care funding. This is funding that's similar to the CARES Act and will be used similarly to support children, families, and the child care industry, including providers, all related to the impact of COVID-19. I did have an opportunity to talk to OEL about this. They are working on a plan for how to best use that money. The criterion is very similar, what I'm told, in that a bill that was passed with this additional $625. The bullets for what this can be used for are very similar to the CARES Act. I've mentioned this before, but OEL has 60 days to provide to legislation how this is going to be used. The clock has already started ticking. I know they're talking about this already internally. And so we are anxiously awaiting to hear how much funding will be allocated to Broward specifically, as well as how that money will be able to be used, and anticipate it will be used similarly. But just know that here at the ELC, we are certainly advocating for some local control because only we know what's happening in Broward. So we are pushing for that. And as we hear more details, we will certainly keep you posted on that. Additionally, many of you have heard that last year through legislation, there was $50 million statewide allocated for a targeted provider rate increase. I'm happy to say that OEL is pretty much at the end stages of formulating a plan on how this will be used. Christine is going to talk to you more about the provider rate increases, but I just wanted to get that out there as we're talking about additional relief and funding that we should be learning in the next week or two, is what we're being told, that we will learn about how it will be used, and how much funding that Broward ELC will get for that, so that we can turn that around and provide that to our provider community. What else? We're anxiously waiting to see what's going to happen on a national level with childcare funding. As you may have heard, the new administration has really been talking about additional funding and initiatives for the childcare industry. So we do have, while things are still bleak, we have some things to be optimistic about and look forward to. I know that vaccines are starting to roll out. Hopefully, that will roll out to educators, and we're hoping that included in that pot are early learning educators, teachers. We hope that that will happen. We are certainly pushing for that here at the ELC and talking to legislators about that. We know that we're listening around the state that legislators are talking about childcare. We have some really great legislators that have been assigned to the appropriate committees that will be fighting for additional initiatives for childcare, early care and education, etc. So that is something to be optimistic about as soon as we hear what's going on. We know that there's a really lean budget this year, so we're not sure how many childcare related initiatives or bills will go through, but we are hearing chatter that there is an interest in providing more and talking more about the importance of childcare. So we're keeping our fingers crossed about that. And of course, we are going to continue to advocate on behalf of all of you and the children of Broward County. So know that that is being done. We are talking about events to better hear your voices. So you'll be hearing about that in the very near future as well. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to my colleagues who have a lot of information to provide to you. And we've got some really good presentations to provide as well. So Allison, I'm going to turn it back to you, but I am here for questions if anybody has any at this time.
Awesome. Thank you so much. So now we do have a special guest with us from Broward County. So I'm gonna ask Montfort Alexis to unmute. I see that you're on the phone and I just sent you, please enter your PIN and then you will be unmuted and be able to share. So while we're doing that, I'll skip over and give Montfort a minute to get set up with their PIN. I am gonna just put out, Josie Mamie is on the call from Child Care Training. She just wanted to be on the call if there were any questions for anybody. She just wanted to make sure she was here today. If anybody has any childcare related childcare 45-hour training questions, please go ahead. I'll check the box while we wait for Montfort. So I guess, let me go to Josie. Wow, Josie, we are being asked, and I think I lost her. Let's see, Josie, I know I saw her. We are being asked when training will, or testing will resume. Let's see, I don't see her anymore. Let's see. I hate to put you on the spot, Sheila. I do see you. You're self-muted. Do you by chance have an update? I know I'm totally putting you out there. But do you guys kind of have an update when testing will resume? Or just put it in the chat box? Okay, I guess we're not getting to, I guess we're having some techie issues today from we're special guests. So let me double check. So I'm actually hearing from our friends in the galley, all our childcare friends, and they said that they believe that childcare testing has started, that there is registration. Hi, Sheila.
Hi, I'm sorry. It wasn't unmuting for me. I don't know what Josie said she was on, but I don't know where she is. We have been testing for quite some time now. We've been putting up dates for Saturdays. We've also had during the week a bit, but we've had Saturdays listed. We try not to put them up too far in advance, because what's happening around the state is near to us in our counties around us, sometimes they're not having that many tests. So a lot of people have been coming to Broward to test. So we've been putting up the testing dates like a week or two ahead of time, not weeks ahead of time like we used to, or a month. Otherwise, the other counties jump in. So we're trying to give Broward as much, priority as possible. As far as classes, we're doing classes online, obviously, which people don't want to be in the classroom for a childcare training class for 6 hours. It doesn't make any sense right now. So hopefully a few months from now, closer to the summer, I would love if things went back to that. I was always pushing in-person classes. I think they're so valuable, but right now, we just have to flip and say online will do, but testing we still have going on, not completely regularly, but pretty much twice a month on Saturdays. And we have had in the past, which we have a little bit of during the week. We've been having the director credential course, the TICD, Trauma Informed. In fact, we have one starting on the 27th. If anybody really wants to jump into that, they can email Josie, mm1384@nova.edu, and do that in the next couple of days, because we're trying to get that class open and closed in the next week. It starts, next Wednesday, and it goes on for 5 in-person sessions every other week. And that's a great course that a lot of people have been taking, and we're actually, and it is gonna start to be in Spanish as well at some point, but it's in English with us right now. What else? What else, Allison?
That's it. I mean, unfortunately, Josie, I found her. She's on her phone. So I think here,
So,
wait. Here she goes.
Hello.
okay.
Go for it.
Can you hear me?
Yep, we can hear you now.
Okay, thank you, Sheila. I really appreciate it. I couldn't get in. I don't know what was going on. Like Sheila said, we're doing testing at least every 2 weeks. We have 100 people. We're social distancing in an auditorium that holds 400 people. So there's specific instructions everybody needs to read when we send them an email reminding them about the test. There's specific instructions on the letter. They cannot bring phones. They cannot bring anything because of COVID. So they need to read the instructions or else we'll turn them away. We've had success we've been testing, we've been doing large groups like this since November. The seats are marked for social distance, so there's no problem. We're following all the COVID guidelines. They have to come with a mask. And pretty much that's what's going on. We have a test this Saturday, which is already full, and we have another test scheduled for next Saturday. We will keep on posting, like Sheila says, other exams. Also, there's a TICD course, a Trauma-Informed Director's Credential course that will begin on January 27th. We still have like 5 spots if anybody's interested. It is, TICE will provide scholarships. If you meet if your director credential expires on the 21st or the 22nd, the year 2021 or the year 2022, but it has to be in spring of 2022. So the cost of the course is $450. It includes all the materials. We've had really, we had 21 people that just completed our fall semester. It's virtual, is every 2 weeks on Wednesdays from 6:30 to 9:30. So we welcome for you to call us or go ahead and register online. Once the 5 spots are taken, we'll close the class. There will be another one in June. Any other questions?
No, so the trauma-informed class, that's gonna be in person or on Zoom?
In Zoom.
Okay, that's gonna be in Zoom. We did have that question. And the process is still the same to register for the testing? It's just going quickly?
Yes, you have to
Okay.
first come, first serve. Because it's not only our county people that are coming, that's why we're not advertising it that far ahead, because people from Jacksonville all over the place are coming.
Wow.
Because they sent us an email yesterday from Tallahassee saying they extended the time requirement to comply with testing till March 1st. That's the paper they sent us yesterday. So testing, you have to meet the requirements by March 1st. They're trying to be lenient till March 1st. So they're telling people they need to travel to other counties, they must do it.
Wow.
And that's exactly what's happening. So it reads like this: we will extend the deadline for completion of competency exams to March 1st, 2021, and continue to work with providers on this requirement to ensure non-compliance citations will not be issued. So, but they're till March 1st.
Okay, and then do you have any information on director credentials for those that are looking to get theirs?
Yeah, the initial director credential is not the trauma-informed care. The initial director is the administration course, and that's offered by NOVA. If you give him my email is mm1384@nova.edu. And the course of the cost on NOVA has lowered the rates. It's $400. So I could give the number of the person in charge of those courses is the administration course. So we are offering that online. It's a 3-credit course. The trauma-informed directors course is a second step. It's for those directors who already have the initial director credential. They want to add an endorsement. Just like you add the VPK endorsement, you will add a trauma-informed care endorsement. But the scholarships that TICE provides, you could pay $450. It includes everything, the resources, the 45 hours, and the 5-hour. It also gives you the professional contribution requirement, because you have to do presentation for us. But if you have the director credential that expires in this year or 2021, Teach will provide the scholarship.
And Josie, is the trauma informed required to renew your director's credential?
No, a lot of people are doing it because they want the endorsement, just like the VPK endorsement. It gives you a another endorsement. It gives you the trauma informed care endorsement.
And we just got a comment from a provider that said, I highly recommend this course. Miss Josie is very knowledgeable and the class is really fun. That came from someone in the gallery, not me. So just to stay neutral, I'm sure it's great, but that was a recommendation from the class.
Thank you. Thank you, Allison. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Josie. And again,
Yeah, my
Josie's
pleasure.
email
Stay
is.
safe, all of you. We're here and our number that you could call our main number. Aisha, my coworker, is answering, is 954-262-6904.
And I put it in the chat for everyone. So you
Okay.
guys have it. If you have any other questions, I'm sure, Josie, your phone is going to be ringing.
6905. I'm sorry. 6905.
Okay.
Aisha's answering. My coworker, Aisha Gaziani, is answering that phone.
You will get a lot of calls today. So
Okay.
thank you.
And the email is very good too, Allison. mm1384@nova.edu.
Sounds good.
Okay, no, thank you for giving us the opportunity. And
Okay.
all stay safe. We miss you all.
Stay safe. Bye. Okay. Thank you, Josie and Sheila. Sorry for putting you on the spot. And now, let's see. I am Montfort. I'm trying to unmute you still. Your audio pin is 3837. If you can enter that and then I can unmute you. So while we're still trying, because I thought we had had it, we had our connection with Montfort, I will just jump to do my part. Class assessments, we're still kind of on pause. We're looking to start at maybe some schools that are just an absolute must. But again, we will be keeping you informed as much as possible about this. Again, we want to make it as comfortable as possible for everyone, so we will be keeping you informed. I also want to refer everybody back to the handout section. You're going to get a little, I'm going to move this. I want to open up so you can kind of take a look at, I want to, in addition to our regularly scheduled trainings that occur in the evenings and some in the afternoon that you can find on our website, the education base, we're starting and kicking off a new training series with the A-team. So this is business training. So the A-team is here for you. I'm part of the A-team for Allison, and of course, Amy Younger, Adriana and Andrew. So we're all A's. So I'm not doing the voice as much as Howard, who's not on the call today, asked to do the Mr. T voice about the A-team, and I pity the fool who doesn't take advantage of these trainings. But these will be a series of trainings that will be for a small group that will be ongoing, where you can really dive into the business side of how things work at the ELC. So take a look. We'll be posting how to register shortly. We're just kind of figuring it out since it's different, you know, it's 4 different sections. You don't have to attend all. Make sure you attend mine though, because then I'll feel some kind of way if you don't attend mine. I have to have at least a few people there. So this is going on. So I just wanted to highlight this. So again, in Howard's honor, I pity the fool who doesn't take advantage of this, but not in the voice. And then I also wanted to refer you guys that Early Learning Florida, I'm sure some of you are familiar with them as well. So their spring registration has begun. It closes next week. The flyers and the handouts, please take a look. These are classes through the University of Florida, and when you're complete and receive mastery for it, you will receive a stipend for it. So just take a look at it, download the flyer. We'll be sending it out as well. It'll be part of our newsletter. If you have any questions, please let us know about this. So I think, and again, just please refer to our new website, our training calendar. These are all free courses. Everything is free. Thank you for reminding me they're free, and you end up with a stipend at the end. So now I'm gonna try one more time. Okay, Monfort, I believe you are self-muted, so you should be able to unmute yourself. I do not have you muted.
Okay.
Woohoo! We got you. Welcome.
Yes, definitely. I'm very excited to join this wonderful meeting. And let me know if you hear me very well.
We can hear you. You're a little low. If you can maybe just and make it a little louder.
Let me see where the problem should be. Because I'm using the computer now. Let me see. Should I use the telephone instead? I don't want to mess it up.
Okay, I think just, yeah, if you can talk a little louder, yell a little bit, it'll be good. Or maybe it's me and my hearing is going, that I'm not hearing so great. My kids would say that.
Tell me now, how do you hear me?
Perfect, perfect.
Perfect, great, wonderful. And I'm sorry for the inconvenience this morning. I know this is a planned meeting, but I'm very, very sorry for that. I am Montfort Alexis. There's an echo here. I am Montfort Alexis. I'm the human services supervisor for this program, Community Action Agency, the Self-Sufficiency Program. Obviously, I am just going in a nutshell to give you some very good insights about our program. Community Action Agency serves the low-income individuals and families. And there are two programs, the LIHE program, the Low-Income Energy Home Energy Assistance Program, and we have the Self-Sufficiency Case Management Program. For the sake of this presentation this morning, I will only concentrate, I will only focus on the Self-Sufficiency Case Management Program. Just some information. We are a public agency, Community Action Agency. There are some private agencies around the country, but we are part of Broward County, and we are under Family Success Administration Division. Now let's go straight into the services and what we do. Before we do that, we would like to tell you that we have 6 coordinators, human services coordinators on the line as well. And we also have the housing coordinator, the employment specialist, and the a representative of the financial capability program. So I don't know whether or not they will have time to speak to say a few words about their services, but we will try to condense everything so that we can give you good information and also give you the telephone numbers where you can contact us. And thank you very much, ELC. Thank you, Renee, for inviting us. Now, Community Action Agency serves the low-income individuals and families in Broward County. Obviously, we have many services that we use to serve the residents. Chief among them, I would like just to give you a list of agency of services we provide: education, transportation, daycare, case management, supporting services, housing, employment, and financial. Let me just, in a nutshell, talk about the education. As far as the education is concerned, we cover tuition, books, and supplies. And there are many more, but in a nutshell, that's what we do. We cover tuition. We use the public schools in Broward County, such as FAU, Broward College, and Sheridan Technical College, Atlantic Technical College, and McFarland Technical College. We focus on the individual goals to help them achieve their educational goals, and so that they can secure good employment. Now, the supporting services, that's what is very important. So, as far as transportation is concerned, we provide the bus passes, and we also can assist our participants with minor car repairs. Obviously, so there are some limits. There is a definition of the minor car repair. When we speak to them, we will tell them what it is and how we can assist them. But transportation covers bus passes and minor car repairs. Daycare assistance, that's a key component of our services, and we provide daycare assistance for two reasons. First, if they are in school, if the participants are in school, as we pay education for them, we also address on the daycare issues if they do have the need. Second reason we assist with daycare if they are employed. And this service for employment, the daycare is temporary. That means from 6 months to 1 year. And this intervention is meant to obviously help them to devise a plan, to come up with a plan to address this need, or as they are waiting to be admitted into the ELC program. So this is a great way for them to continue their lives as they wait, as they are put on the waiting list. So this is a great two ways we can assist with daycare. First, if they are in school. Second, if they have a job and they need daycare to secure to stay employed. Emergency assistance entails rental, utility payments, and that's what. And we belong to FSCD as well, Family Success Administration Division, that does a good job in providing emergency assistance as well. So having said that, I don't know if Kisha is able to speak. Kisha is the employment coordinator. If she can speak, I would invite her to say a few words. Kisha, you're on the line. All right, it seems we cannot have Kisha. Kisha is the...
She should be self-muted.
Okay, and we are in a different office. So in a nutshell, Kisha is also part of our...
Can you hear me?
Are you...
Kisha, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Kisha, just say a few words.
Hi, good morning, everyone. And I'd just like to say I am happy to be here on this call. My name is Keisha Dawkins. I'm the employment coordinator for the Community Action Agency. So briefly, I just want to go over a couple things or services that are offered under employment. So I do offer or do assist with resume evaluation, structures, skills, experience and certificates, job readiness training, transferable skills, what goes on the resume, what you're looking at, job descriptions, employment leads and placements. So also we do have employers that reach out to us, as well as referrals I get to refer customers for specific roles. We also take a look at internships, outside job training, and these are mostly paid internships or on-the-job training. interview and coaching. What are they going to expect? Your communication verbally, and of course, what that looks like and your virtual appearance if it is going to be on one of these platforms. Job search, education, effective employment search, title keywords, and search and filter. So basically, this is designed to help them become successful in their employment search.
All right, Keisha, thank you. And now, Maria Polenko, housing coordinator.
I don't see her on.
Okay, so Maria is the housing coordinator. What she does, she basically coordinates with the landlords and she negotiates on behalf of our residents to help them secure affordable housing. Obviously, this is not a public housing program or service. What she does, she looks for the best deal on behalf of the clients. She also assists with rental payments. She can do that, and she can accept clients directly by in her to access her services. So telephone number for Maria is 954-357-5810. 357-5810. That's Maria Polenko. And if you do have any question, you can contact her. And now we would like to invite Cecil from the Financial Capability Program. I don't know whether or not she's on the line.
What is that name? I'm sorry.
Cecil. If not, we can move forward. And this service, this program, the financial.
Wait, I'm sorry, Cecila's here. Here she is. She's self-muted. Please unmute yourself. You're good, Cecile.
All right, Cecil.
Cecil, you should be able to speak now. You're unmuted.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. I was like talking and then I guess you guys weren't able to hear me. Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for having me as being part of here. Thank you, Mr. Mumford and CA for having me part of being part of the group. My name is Cecile Arbiza Rivera. I'm with Broward County's Financial Capability Program. We work very closely with CAA and the Self-Sufficiency Case Management Program, as well as other departments within Family Success. What we offer is that we offer assistance to the consumer through education in regards to their finances. So we work very closely with our customers to be able to help them understand different financial concepts, such as banking, understanding their credit report, working with their budget, and so on. We are certified to help them review their credit score and help them assess with what are the things that they need to do so that they can improve their credit score so that they can achieve their financial goals. And then within our program, we also offer different educational workshops that are open to the Broward County residents, where we talk about the different financial topics and how can they, work on their financial well-being. We also have a match savings component within our program that assists the consumers, whether they're looking to achieve certain goals, such as home ownership, opening or starting their own business, purchasing a car, or working towards a higher level of education, such as their masters, their doctors, their bachelors, and that's essentially what we do. We do have a coach located at each of the 4 Family Success Centers throughout Broward County, And for general requirements of the match savings, which is a county saving sponsor program, we do have a 300% income requirement, but for assistance with receiving education towards their financial well-being or working one-on-one with a coach, there is no requirement for the income. So it's open to everyone, including Broward County staff members.
Great. Thank you, Sasel. Give your number, please.
Awesome, no problem. I'll share my information in the chat for everyone to have it.
Okay, great. And so as you can see, this CAA, the Self-Sufficiency Case Management Program, covers a lot of areas, and they can meet, the program can meet a lot of needs of the residents. Now, I would like just in a nutshell to say who qualify for our services. First, the residents of Broward County. And second, they need to meet the 200% poverty guideline criteria. So that's the poverty guideline set by the Fed, and it's 200% now in Florida. That's what we use. Second, we also look at the pay stubs. We consider financial resources or the revenue for the past 30 days. And that means income or any other source of income they may have. There are more requirements, obviously, as they meet with us. We ask them for the documentation needed to qualify them. And so having said that, I think we're gonna stop here. We have the orientation. That's the key in our today. I would like you to retain. We have an orientation every first Friday of the month. Every first Friday of the month, we have an orientation to provide information to the public and to those who are interested in joining and participating in the program. This presentation, this orientation is conducted at 900 Northwest 31st Avenue. That's a meal center in the southeast corner of the swap shop. So the meal center where a lot of services are provided. That's where we conduct the orientation, monthly orientation, every first Friday of the month, unless the Friday is a holiday. If the first Friday is not a holiday, so we have an orientation for the public. So you can invite everyone. It's open to the public. Now, we conduct the orientation online. There is a Zoom orientation, and we send out the invitation obviously every month. And now, because it's on Zoom, everybody needs to register before they can participate. But after COVID is over, we will resume to live orientation with the public. So having said that, we are thank you. If you have any question, you would like to contact us for more information, I'm going to leave the information, my contact information in the chat room. There are actually six human services coordinators throughout Broward County. We have 4 locations, one in Central Fort Lauderdale, which is Mills Center. We have an office in Pompano at the Family Success Administration Center in Pompano. We have an office in Coral Springs at the Family Success Center. Also, we have an office in West Park, again, another Family Success Center. I'm going to leave my number in the chat room. I thank you. As I told you, I would like to just summarize everything for you. So we cover education for those who don't have financial aid, who would like to go back to school and they cannot afford it. We can address that for them. We also use the for public, the FAU, Broward College, and the 3 technical colleges. We also pay for tuition, books, supplies, and so on. We pay for daycare for 2 ways, if they are in school and if they have a job. We also can provide EA, emergency assistance for our participants. We have a housing program. We also have an employment service on site, and we have the financial services so to serve all the residents. So it's the best kept secret. They call this program the self-sufficiency case management, the best kept secret in Broward County. And now today, the secret is revealed to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Alexis. We will share the best kept secret with our childcare community. There's a link in the chat box for a complete list of workshops. So thank you to you and your team for joining us today, and we will share the one of the best kept secrets, because I think ELC is also one of them, but we'll share that with everybody. So thank you so much. And now I'm going to turn it over to Amy Unger. You should be self-muted, Amy.
Good morning, everybody. Nice to talk to you all. Yeah, new computer, making sure you can hear me. Just a couple of quick reminders from your provider relations team. Those of you with the eagle eye might have noticed that on the provider portal now, your 21-22 program year provider profile is available. OEL does release those for you to complete January 1st of every year. We were giving people a little bit of time to come back after the holidays and finish up a few other things. So we haven't sent out some information about that yet, but you will soon be receiving an email with some reminders. It's a pretty simple process because most of the information does come over from the prior year. So it shouldn't be too big of a challenge for you. One thing that is new this year is the E-Verify requirement. When you complete the document section, you will have to upload an affidavit that shows that you are in compliance with E-Verify. The affidavit is just the documentation. You need to read that and make sure you understand what it is you are agreeing to comply with. The ELC is planning to host some workshops coming up soon to give you some more information about the E-Verify program and what it means to you as a business owner. So be looking out for that. We should do that hopefully within the next few weeks. So stay tuned for that. Also wanted to mention this time of the year when we start working on profiles for the upcoming year, we typically do restructure the caseloads a little bit. So some of you may get an email saying that you have a new provider relations specialist. We try to cause as little disruption as possible, but we just want to make sure that it's an equitable amount to each specialist so that you get efficient service. Also just wanted to mention that you'll be receiving some information about the ASQ process soon. There's some changes coming up to the ASQ process. At this point, school readiness providers are responsible to complete the developmental screenings, and you enter those results in our BlueJeans system. In the near future, parents are going to have the opportunity to complete those screenings with their children when they do their redetermination. So the whole process is going to be changing soon. But in the short term, we've made a few changes to the BlueJeans system and how you get notified. So if you have questions, you can always reach out to us. But again, you'll be receiving a communication about that soon as well, just to tell you what to do in the interim until these bigger changes are coming in. Rest assured that as we have more information, we will be sharing it with you and planning some trainings so that we're all on the same page as this new process rolls out in the provider portal. And that's all I got for today. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, Amy, who is also part of the A team of trainings. And now I turn it over to Christine, who has some exciting updates for us. You should be self-muted. Okay.
I think I'm there now. Thank you, Allison, and hello, everybody. And just some quick pass on a number of topics. As usual, we have a lot of things going on related to the reimbursement world. So the first one is an old one that we're all probably a little tired of hearing about, and it seems to go on forever. And that is the status of the reconciliation from the EFS mod project. So we are about to complete all of the adjustments, the back-end adjustments that I've been mentioning for a while. And we are about to arrive at the the final balance calculation for all of the providers. And once that is done this week, then we will be strategizing on when we will be sending out those letters with that information to you, so that you can start looking at them and trying to make a determination about if there are additional changes that we need to make. There's always a surprise in this process. When we did all the adjustments that were necessary for the FY20 issues that we had with EFS mod, we had to do between 25 and 30,000 adjustments. We have about 200 more that need to be done before we're finalized, but the team is in the process of uploading your reports for the batch at the moment. So as soon as that's done, they'll complete the adjustments. As I've mentioned at board meetings and in a couple other places, there's a PowerPoint up on our website from the board meeting that explains what our process, what our plan is for how we're going to be communicating with you and working with you on these reconciliations. But if there's an overarching theme, it's that we will give you the time that you need to get to a place where you have verified and you are comfortable that we have arrived at the right number and that we're in agreement with it. And if there's a balance due back to ELC, we are also committed to working with you in recovering those funds in a way that causes the least amount of disruption to you and your business. Along the way, we will need you to send us some information and respond to some communications, but our goal is to try to keep this as I guess you can't say user-friendly, because it's a process that came up that had that through no fault of your own. This is something that that OEL created a bit of a mess, and but we're trying to keep it to minimize the pain as much as we're able to. And if you need assistance or you need more information, the big message is ask us, and we will work with you for all reasonable. Through all reasonable situations to try to get to the bottom of it for everybody. And if you have any questions about that, please don't hesitate to put something in the chat box and I will address it, or you can send me an email directly and I'd be happy to talk to you about it. But that information will be coming in a formal communication soon. For grants and stipends, the phase 4 grants that people have applied for have been mostly issued. There are a handful of providers that we had some questions on, some things on the back end that need to be resolved before we can issue those grants. I need OEL to help me solve that problem. And I have been promised a response to that today. If I can get that taken care of, we'll get those remaining grants out this week. In the stipends, the only stipends that we currently are working with are the people who are participating in the University of Florida online training program, and those stipends have a batch of those were recently issued. And then of course there's people who are participating in the incentives program. It turned out there was a wait list for providers that wanted to participate in the incentive program that Children's Forum, we outsource the administration of that program. Children's Forum has assured us that they are in the process of clearing that wait list. If you have any members of your staff that are on that wait list and that are anxious to get into the program and you haven't heard back or you have concerns, please do let us know. If you can email ELC Broward, elcbtraining@elcbroward.org, and Allison, perhaps if you can put that in the chat box, and then we can follow up on those particular cases if you have a specific question. So that's where we are on that. And then as Renee mentioned in her opening statement for the school readiness reimbursement rate, the OEL has kind of made some changes to the order in which they are planning to process some of these rate change proposals that were out there. Renee mentioned there's the $50 million that the legislature, one-time funds that the legislature allocated to OEL for the purpose of doing targeted rate increases. And up until now, they didn't have a methodology, and so they told us to just go ahead and submit our own rate increase proposals. But now that they've come to a point, but we've submitted rate increase proposals, but they haven't approved them for technical reasons up until now. now that they've done this methodology on the $50 million, now they are saying they want to issue that allocation first. And then after that, we will have an opportunity to analyze where we are, our available funding, and propose any additional rate increase on top of that if it makes sense to do that. So we will. The only thing that we know about the methodology is that they are targeting the youngest children, as we have with our own rate increases. That means infant through 5 years old, not yet in kindergarten. And they are making the rate increases specific to care levels. But beyond that, we don't have any other information about exactly how or how much it will be coming, but it's they have promised that it will be coming soon. And I believe that's all. So if anybody has any questions, I'm available to answer.
Thank you, Christine. Now I'm going to turn it over to Lane. Lane, you are now officially unmuted by both of us.
The unmute is official. Good morning, everyone. Allison, thank you for giving me a few minutes to talk. You've been hearing a lot of great information this morning. I've learned a lot this morning. But I want to give you a visual because this hasn't been a real visual meeting, and I want to share with you that I'm excited that it is Inauguration Day. I happen to be working on one of my rare days from home, so I will share with you what I'm wearing. I am wearing a red, white, and blue outfit. I am in a blue polo shirt, and I am wearing my red, white, and blue SpongeBob pajama pants that have hearts all over it saying, I love you, I love you, I love you. So now that you have that visual, I will also want to remind you that there are only 49 Sundays left until New Year's. So you can start your planning now, 49 more Sundays, and we will be celebrating another new year. So those are the two non-educational things that are that I wanted to talk about today, although they were great for social emotional, I hope. But what I'm really here to talk about is the re-registration for Read for the Record books. As you know, the Read for the Record was in October. Some of you signed up to participate, and we hope that you had an amazing day. We had over 1,000 virtual readers this year, which is absolutely amazing. But it's time to give away the books. Everyone should have at least gotten one letter. Some of you may have gotten 3 or 4 letters asking you to re-register. If you registered for Read for the Record in September, October, you must re-register again to get your books. Allison has put the letter up on your screen. The link is there. I'm going to give you a few reminders because we've had 140 people register already. You only need to complete one registration, re-registration for your school. So you don't need to register more than once. So please make sure that you're doing it because you're going to get several of the reminders. Also want to remind you, please, if the question asks you how many children do you have, you only have to put the number 20. If we ask you how many classes do you have, BPK classes, that should be a small number. Some people are putting 40, 60, they're putting the number of students in there. So I have about 40 that have not given me correct numbers. I have to call those over the next couple of days. So please read the questions carefully. They're really simple questions. And the other thing is, please do not register for your aftercare kindergarten children. Those children will be getting their books in their schools. If you have a full day kindergarten program, then we're going to ask you to tell us how many children that you need in kindergarten. So there is a question that says, how many kindergarten children do you have? And it specifically says only in a full day kindergarten program, because your aftercare kids, once again, will get those with their schools. Pickup for the books is next week, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday from 3 o'clock to 7 o'clock at Lauderdale Manors Elementary School. That information is in there as well. This year, because of COVID, we're not going to have you get out of your car. We're going to have you just come up to drive through the drive-through of the school. Someone will ask you for the name of your school. We should have a list of who it is. We're going to ask you to open your trunk or your back seat, and then we're going to put it in there for you. We have a couple of extra special gifts that we'll be giving you on that day as well. We want to make it fun, so come by any day next week. If you did not participate in Read for the Record, you can still register for the free books. So if you didn't get to participate in October, but you'd like to get the free books for your kids, we have plenty. We would love to give them to you. Please click on the link in the form that Allison has put up, and we'll be able to get you those books. Once again, we are only giving out the books next week. Registration ends tomorrow at 3 o'clock. Please make sure you register. In fact, before you leave this meeting, you should click on that link and at least open the page so that you're there. You'll see it's only 4 or 5 questions. I think I've pretty much covered everything. We'll give you another book in Spanish because we're not sure if everybody registering has also gotten the Spanish book. And this has been really exciting, and we're hoping that next year in October, or this year in October, we will be able to do it live and in person again. If there's any questions, I don't know if there's any questions, but if you do, you can always email me. My email address is lane.polikoff, L-A-Y-N-E.polikoff, P-O-L-A-K-O-F-F, @browardschools.com. Thanks, Allison.
Thanks, Lane. Enjoy your coziness as you are from home today, which
Thank
is
you.
an unusual, and I don't think you even enjoy working from home.
Not some days it's okay, but since I'm in my red, white, and blue SpongeBob jammies, it just makes it so much better.
Okay, sounds good.
See that picture?
Yes, take a picture, we'll share it. Okay, let me switch back to the agenda. And I know that some folks wanted to have an opportunity to talk today. So if you want to share something, please just write in the chat for me. Say, can you please unmute me? And we can get a little dialogue going as best that we can. While we're waiting for that, I did want to mention that our next plan meeting, we're doing monthly, the 3rd Wednesdays of the month. Next time, we're going to go back to 12 p.m. Just again, today, we didn't want to compete with the inauguration for those that were interested in watching and able to watch. And then exciting news, bum, 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 save the date. We are going to be having our virtual first time ever Broward Early Childhood Educators Conference on Saturday, April 10th, 2021. So we're really excited. It'll be a whole new vibe this year since it'll be virtual. So it'll be a Saturday, so you'll be free to log on and participate, and you can be like Lane and wear a cozy outfit for the conference that day. You will be receiving CEUs. We're going to be working on, transferring the whole process that we do with our surveys and everything in registration to a completely virtual format. So that'll be exciting. April 10th, Saturday, April 10th. We'll get that up on the website soon. We're gonna be really excited. It's another opportunity for all of us to get together. And again, I'll just wait if anybody would like to share anything, be unmuted, just please write me a little note, say please unmute me. I'll just wait a moment or two. Amy Unger, we have a VPK question registration. Are you able to unmute? VPK registration starting? There was a question. I don't know if you are.
I'm unmuted. Yeah, registration for, I'm not sure I understand what the question is.
It just says VPK registration starting on ?
So families were able to begin registering for VPK for the upcoming school year on January 1st. We have had applicants come in. We're approving them very quickly. The numbers are lower than in previous years. So if the provider is asking because they've not had any turned into them, that could be why we're definitely seeing a slower start to the year this year. But the family portal is allowing families to apply for VPK for next school year and next summer, and we are seeing those applications come in and approving them.
Thank you, Amy. Yeah, Debbie wrote, we're excited about the virtual conference. Wish it was, I wish it was in person also. We're still kind of working on, again, I know some folks had asked to be unmuted and talk about VPK probation waivers, SR rate waive, so I'm kind of waiting to see if you guys wanted to be unmuted and kind of talk about it. So just give us a second while we wrap up the last little bit of our call. Like, again, we're still waiting, you know, a lot of SR stuff is dependent on class assessments, and we are going to keep you posted on that. There was another question to share. I think the Early Learning Florida stuff, I'll share that again. Registration is open. It's like taking a real class. There's a teacher, you have classmates. It's a lot of good information. And if you receive mastery, you receive a stipend and CEUs. And again, this is a free course, so please take advantage of it. And I will go back to also the A-team training, your A-team, bum, bum, bum. If you guys are, unless I'm aging myself with the real A-team, you know. So I know the registration information is not up just yet, but look for it. We just kind of wanted to give you guys a heads up about this. A fabulous group of A names. Who knew? Bum, bum, bum. Is there any discussion about, I think what we wanted to do, and I think it's kind of hard if anyone, let's see, Kara, you want to unmute for a second so I'm not talking to the wall, like talking to Marcel? You're self-muted. Now you, wait, okay, go for it.
There we are. Good morning, everybody. That's actually a request from the community. I mean, obviously as mine as well as a provider, but we are all looking for an update from OEL regarding providers on probation and how we are going to get off of probation when we have excessive absences this year. We're facing so many struggles with cleaning, sanitizing, and just all the extra pressures. There's got to be some way that we can all work together to advocate with the OEL to get this waived for this year. Obviously, even last year, we didn't finish our VPK year. So to be penalized for it just doesn't seem just at this point.
You have some yeses coming in through the chat box as well. I do know, I can share that there is no 1920 VPK rate that will be coming, no 1920. And I guess we'll have to keep you posted and keep, you know, talking to OEL about this. I don't know if anyone else has on the ELC team has anything to share about this, but we're with you, we're behind you, we understand. That's why we're not out yet doing class assessments, and we're trying to wait as long as possible because we feel like there is so many competing priorities right now with health and safety and just the whole social emotional aspect of being in the classroom. But again, we will bring this to OEL. We're on your side. So
is there something we can do as providers? Like, can we start getting signatures together of how many people, you know, want to voice their concerns about meeting all together in a group for a discussion focus group about what we can do instead? What can we do as providers to help you guys advocate for this with the OEL so they see that this isn't just, you know, obviously we want to be held accountable. Obviously we want to hold our students to the same high standards for success, but at the same time we want to make sure we're doing it fairly and it's not penalizing small business owners. So what can we do as providers to help support this advocacy effort?
Thank you, Kara, and I will check in with everybody else. I don't know. Oh, Renee's on.
Hi, no, Kara, that's great that you're bringing this up. This is something that we've been advocating for. I actually do have a meeting, not this week, but I believe next week with the head of OEL, and I will bring it up to her in the smaller group and see what she says, and then I will absolutely reach back out to you. I actually just sent you an email about meetings, so we can talk about what you can do, because yes, there may be, it may be that, OEL needs to hear from providers directly. And if that's the case, then yes, I don't know that you need to get signatures, but perhaps that's the way to go. I have a small meeting with Shan coming up, so I'd love to bring this up in a smaller group instead of with all of the other coalitions. And I will certainly bring this up to my colleagues as well around the state. And then let's talk about what we can do, what are some efforts that you can oversee to help put pressure, for lack of a better word, but to have your voices heard. And we'll look into the data about how many providers are impacted by this, so we have some numbers, because that usually speaks volumes when we have data to support it. So stay tuned. I'm not brushing you off in any way. I hear you, and we will bring that to OEL. But Karen, know that you and all small business owners, childcare small business owners, can always reach out to OEL and can always reach out to state legislators when there are things that you want to advocate for. You don't need to wait for us, but I do want to think about a coordinated way that we can all work together to push the agendas of the provider community. So does that resonate with you? Does that sound, I think that's the best way to go, but certainly, think about what you think would be most impactful, and we can certainly talk about that while I work, on the inside with OEL to kind of gauge where they are on that.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Renee, for jumping in. Thank you, Kara. There's also some other comments from the gallery. Kara is the best. Thank you, Kara. Just to, share some of the other comments coming in, and we're going to work locally. We're going to work with OEL just to recap some other comments. And I think that's it. I don't know about you guys, but I feel like this was packed full of information today. I'll follow up and send out a lot of the handouts in case you didn't get anything. I will share with you also. We have some handouts from Broward County Community Action Agency who were with us today, and I'll connect with Josie from NOVA to make sure I have a trauma-informed care flyer as well. So you will be getting flyers from us. Check out our training calendar on the website. And with that, I wish you a fabulous Wednesday. Don't forget to register for your Read for the Records book. And if you go Tuesday or Wednesday next week, I will be there to throw them in your trunk. So see you next week, and don't forget to register. Thanks so much, everybody.